All right, so I know that things got a little crazy in class today. We ran out of time, so I wanted to make sure that you understood how to do your homework tonight. And so, in order to do that, I wanted to make sure that you knew how I got what I got on this first one. So, I'm actually delete this and get everything all nice and clean. That way, you know how to put the codes in for your next data set down here. So, I'm not going to do this one, but if you can do this one, you should be able to do this one. Okay, so in order to find the average, you're going to hit equals. And again, if you need to stop and do any of this, and if you want to maybe like watch this, pause, and then go to the next one, that might be a good idea. But we're going to go ahead and find the average. So find the average, and then the easiest way to do it is just to go all the way down. We don't have to do that, but if we would end up changing values or adding or subtracting values, it's helpful just to highlight the whole set and then hit enter, and you should get 12. And because it has nothing to do with the count of data, just go ahead and pull it over, and then you can see that the same formula was put in, but it was for column C. Now, standard deviation, this is another really easy one because we don't have to actually put in the equation. We can just literally hit standard deviation. And then we're going to highlight that data set again and hit enter. Again, we can probably pull it over. I'm thinking if that's going to work. I think that should work. Yeah, it does work. So go ahead and pull that over. Just thinking out loud in my head here, but yes, that works. Now it will not work for this one because we have to have a unique count, right? Our population size. So we're going to go ahead and put enter. And then we have to take, if you think about our equation, we have to take the standard deviation divided by the square root of the population size. So I can manually enter the population sizes too, or you can actually use the count feature. And I'd like to show you how to do that just because as we get into more complicated data, you're going to want to be able to use this feature. So click count, and then again, you're going to go ahead and just highlight and then hit enter, and that works there. Now we have to put this next one in manually because our population size for this first one is different than this one. So let's go ahead and put enter or equal sign, apologize. Then we're going to put the standard deviation because that's our equation. It's going to fill it in for me because it knows it's so smart. But I'm going to go ahead and just enter it in so you remember how to do it. Square root of the count of all of this data. And then we've got it. Now, on your next data set, if you can see here, I have one standard error of the mean and two standard error of the mean. This is going to become really important when we talk a little bit about confidence intervals starting probably tomorrow or Friday. And so I want to make sure you know how to do that. So this obviously is one standard error of the mean, just kind of like standard deviation, it's just one. If I would do two standard error of the mean, it's literally just this times two. So really easy. So it's going to be this, and you're going to put the multiplication sign times 2. And then again, it's going to be this value. It already knows that I want to do that times 2. And so this is 2 standard error of the mean. This is typically what you're going to find most of our AP questions using those error bars because it gives you a more precise interval. But we're going to go ahead and not worry about that right now. So in order to actually graph this, so hopefully you were able to pause the video and actually fill out this frog data because everything is the same. You're just highlighting, this data here for, let's see, with predator, for this one here, and then this data would go over here. So hopefully you're able to do that, and then you're just going to transfer the averages right in here. So again, I'm going to go ahead and just put equals. I'm going to click the average. And then same thing, equals, and click the average, because that's all I'm graphing is the averages. Now you're going to highlight that whole thing. You're going to go to Insert Chart. It's going to come up as something weird. Let's hope this works. And then we're going to go down here, and I don't know what the deal is, but sometimes you have to mess with some of these tabs down here on the setup. I can't remember if I think it's this one. Nope, this one. Okay. So now we have kind of a hot mess. We have to make sure we fix our title. Obviously for this one, it's not going to be anything fancy because, I don't know, data set 2 versus data set 1. And we're not really graphing anything exciting. And this is going to be whatever value it is going to be whatever value this is. Again, this is just kind of random data, but when you get over here, you should be able to fill in the graph information with everything. Now, the last thing I need to do is I need to graph the error bars. And because we did it in class with just one standard error of the mean, that's what I will do here. But typically we will usually use 2, but for your frog data, go ahead and just use the 1. That's fine. So you're going to click Edit Chart, and then you need to go over to Customize. And when you do that, you're going to click Series because these are 2 different series that's being shown here. So you're going to click Series. We don't want to apply to all because we have 2 different standard error of the mean based on the different data sets. So you're going to click Data Set 1, and you're going to scroll down, and you are going to click on Error Bars. And when you do that, it's going to change to percent. We don't want percent. We just want a constant. And if you see over here, my value is 3. So I'm going to go ahead and put in 3. And then as I noticed today in class, your best bet is just to not click anywhere, because when you click off of this, if I would click right here, it changes the whole thing. So just go down back up to here now and click on Dataset 2. And then you are going to, again, click Error Bars and make it a constant. And it is 0.26. What just happened? So 2 error bars constant. Oh, I know what I did. Put 26. I wonder why it looked weird. Okay, then we are just going to click X. Just get the heck out of there. Otherwise, again, if you click somewhere else, it does funny things. So that's it. That's all you have to do. It's really not that complicated, I promise. And then in your graph for frog data, just click, make sure you change the title, make sure you change the Y variable and the X variable labels, but that is all you have to do. So just get familiar with knowing the equations for standard error of the mean and how to enter that into the spreadsheet. But again, you can see my equation here so that you can use that to complete the frog data. I hope that helps, and I look forward to seeing what you did.